Oh hey, didn't see you there. This is Eyes of Apollo bringing you some more Driveclub, baby. But anyways, I'm going even more detail in the drifting tutorial because I don't think some people understood exactly what I was saying. Now, all the shifting for gears and whatnot, downshifting and gearing up and whatnot, shifting up, that was for the BMW. So when I was saying, be in third gear at this turn, it was not that fucking turn. It was literally just for the BMW. So if you were trying to use, like, say this Porsche right here, and you were like, oh, you said third gear. No, it's for different cars. They all shift at a different time. But this is going to be a more in-depth view, how to stabilize the car, how to properly shift if you kind of don't get it yet. But yeah, so here it goes. Now, since you classmates are now in lesson 2 and you've advanced from lesson 1, and if you're seeing this already, it doesn't really matter. But to start off, to be a good drifter, one thing you gotta know is go grab yourself a bottle of water and a couple snacks, because it's gonna take a while for you to understand the drifting methods and to get it right. And if you can get it right sooner than later, mad props to you. I give thee mad props. But here we go at 4th gear. I will brake, handbrake, shift down to 3rd, hit back up to 4th, brake, handbrake, shift down to 3rd. So if you don't understand what I'm doing, when you brake before you hit the turn, you kind of stabilize the car and also can help it pivot when you're using that. And then of course the shifting down is to basically catch yourself. Hey, check it out, it's nighttime, and check out those brake lights flashing, whoa! So I turned it to nighttime, and that's so I can help you guys understand how to brake. This is not hand brake yet, this is just how to brake into a hand brake. So to stabilize the car, you brake like that. I shifted down to 2nd gear after tapping the hand brake. Sometimes I don't tap, but when I mean tap, it'll be like 1 Mississippi type thing for like almost a second. But as you can see, I will hit the brake, then hand brake, and since that was a longer turn, I didn't do anything. But I shifted to 3rd gear down halfway through. If you want to extend the drift, I always suggest shifting down, because you accelerate out of that. I don't know the actual term or whatnot, because I don't know much of the stuff about drifting besides in this game. Another step is basically know the track. If you don't know the track, you won't know exactly where the turns are, exactly where to get the most points at. So just go for a stroll on the track. It will not take more than a minute. Most of these are less than a minute, but it's an easy way to, understand the track and where you need to get most of the points at. And what turns, how hard the turns are and whatnot. Here's a car that has a great example of a different shifting time. So with this car at around, 4th gear, I think it'll be 105, 106, 107, And with other cars, 4th gear could be like 115, 120 even. So you gotta understand the car. So when you take that stroll on the track to understand, where the corner's at and all the turns, understand when you need to shift. So while you're going for that stroll and checking out that, understand, when you need to shift. So when it hits 108, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's 4th gear type thing. So here we have how to section it off. Just go for the stroll and understand section. So this is section 1. This is section 2. Section 3, which you're probably going to get the most points out of because it's one of the longer sections, opposed to the last one though, because that one you can basically drift the whole way. This is section 4, which is probably going to be the fastest corner you will take, so I suggest you go really fast around this corner. Here's just a small selection of cars I suggest you use, and the first one would be the Porsche, the next one would be Mercedes, The third one would be the Ferrari, which some people might not like this one, but I enjoy it because it can go really fast on long corners. The GTA, which has the crazy acceleration, and then finally, I suggest the Marussia. Here's some tips that I should have added in the first lesson to help people understand and whatnot to help you excel in your drifting game. And that is, when you finish a drift event, instead of pressing continue and finishing it and going back to the lobby, hit restart. Your tire tracks stay on the track, so if you want to find a guideline, that would be the guideline you're looking for. Another thing is, of course, the minuses and pluses that you gain from drifting. When you're online, these actually don't show up, so I'm not connected at the moment. So sometimes they don't show up and say how much you're losing and how much you're gaining. So when you're gaining, of course that's always good, so you can understand what sections you're gaining the most points on and what sections you need to redo. And the main one is the first corner. The first corner, if you're not getting the amount of points you need or better, you're probably better off just restarting. Now this is my last drift tutorial, so if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. I probably should have had more details in the first one, so this one's a little more detailed than the first one. So this will just be lesson 2 of how to drift, and the more detailed version, because the first one I made wasn't very, very detailed. It was kind of bland, but I hope this helped out. Please check out my other videos. Hit that like button, hit that dislike button if you don't like it, be truthful about it. Leave a comment, hopefully a nice one. I don't like negative comments. Hit subscribe if you want to hit subscribe. The whole thing, it's all up to you. No big deal. So anyways, see you later. As always, Eyes of Apollo.